I went through the panel, well, not really through the panel, but from the pictures that were revealed for the Marvel Legends panel from San Diego Comic-Con. I'm sorry, but is it just me, or was it kind of weak? I don't know, like, Marvel Legends is barely doing anything for me these days to make a splash and to make me go, yo, what the... whether you like it, whether you love it or hate it, the Maximum series at least made a big enough statement for me to go and be like, okay, this needs to be talked about, this needs to be approached, analyzed, such and such. Since then, it looks like they're going back to being quiet with the Maximum series. Who knows what their third entry is going to be. There's two things that I took away from the Marvel Legends representation at San Diego Comic-Con. Number one is that, like I said, the panel in and of itself, just to me, didn't move things too much in any kind of direction for me. It was very X-Men centric. This Cyclops doesn't look too bad, especially with the spark effects that you can kind of customize and move about there. I've even seen some people repurposing the laser effect to look like a bloody gore effect for other characters, to put it by like the throat to make it look like it's somebody got their throat cut. I was like, that is incredibly morbid yet kind of cool. So like position it like this, but have the end piece that's supposed to go into his visor and put it on like somebody's throat, and then pose another character with like a knife, and I'm like, that actually kind of goes hard. But yeah, this X-Men 97 2-pack with their retro costumes. Emma Frost. I like X-Men, but not enough to... I don't think... Outside of Wolverine, I don't think I have any other X-Men figures. This one's going to be a bit controversial because I saw a lot of people saying that this is possibly one of their worst outings, which is the basketball 2-pack from the one scene in X-Men 97 where they're playing basketball. I guess I would probably argue that the reason for why people are saying it's the worst is because this Gambit here has like some of the most garish joints, but what else do you expect? They kind of paint themselves a little bit in the corner with the exposed abdominal joint, considering that he's shirtless in that scene. Although I do like felt good for the little jersey on Rogue, except it's a little pointless from a design standpoint, from a concept standpoint in the cartoon, because it's like, well, you're going to be covered up anyway because you can't touch anybody, so what are you doing? Okay. Damn. Spared no expense there. I do like the basketball hand. That's pretty cute, pretty quirky. So that's going to be a 2-set, I guess. And then Jubilee, cool effects, like the drink, but again, nothing here that I look at and go, yo, it's like nothing is speaking to me. But then we get to a series that did, keyword did, pique my interest, which was the Magic the Gathering cross Spider-Man Marvel Legends collaboration between these three. Oh, I'm sorry, 4. You have an anti-venom agent, anti-venom or agent anti-venom, however you want to call him. You have... Where's she at? Yeah. Agent Anti-Venom with the Spider-Man Magic the Gathering crossover packet right there. You have a Battle Damaged Spidey, which out of the entire wave, spoilers, was the one that had my most interest. This at one point this week, I actually set the timer to wake up a little early to lock down a pre-order for this guy, just in case, which would have been pointless because apparently when I woke up, no matter what this morning, he was readily available, so thank God I didn't do that, and I'll explain why I didn't do it here in a little while. But this Battle Damaged Spidey with alternate heads and hands, accessories, and webs to kind of customize the different look of the battle damage with the loss of the sleeve and some blood effects a little bit. You have, what character is this? I have no idea who this character... Colonel... Oh, it's John as a werewolf. It's John Jameson. Interesting. I didn't know who that was. Man-Wolf. Okay. AKA John Jameson. Interesting. But then you have pretty much Iron Spider-Woman. Or Mary Jane Watson as the Iron Spider. With the alternate head there. And the arms once again. So this Magic the Gathering crossover. And I thought it was pretty intriguing. And when they unveiled this at Comic-Con and said that pre-orders were going to go live Monday morning, I thought to myself, okay, you know, I'm actually leaning towards that Battle Damaged Spidey. maybe the Iron Spider Mary Jane Watson because of the arms, and then that was it because I had no interest in Man Wolf because I never heard of the character. And then the Agent Anti-Venom looked neat at a glance, but then I saw that it was pretty much a repaint of the retro card Agent Venom that came out a few months ago with the Flash Thompson head. And the only bonus thing that you get included is the tendrils with the guns. If I can find it again. Tendrils with the guns and the extra hands and the little, venom oozing poison pieces. Along with the little back piece right there to include a... And then, of course, you can remove the guns in case you want to hold them in his hands. So, like I said, at first glance, I thought it was kind of neat, but then I saw that you're pretty much just paying the price for the extra tendrils that aren't even the same color as the original Agent Venom. So you're going to have to repaint them if you're like a custom modder. And then all of these figures are going to come with the Magic the Gathering card that technically is functionable with a Magic the Gathering set if you are a Magic the Gathering player. Literally last night, I found out, I don't know why it took me so long to find out that each of these f***ers are $40. You can't imagine how quickly I readjusted my alarm to wake up to pre-order these and just set my alarm for the usual time I always wake up, like 10:15, 10:20 in the morning, instead of waking up early, even though these were going to go out live at 10 Pacific a.m. So it only would have been like 20 minutes earlier. But as soon as I found out that each of these are 40, I was like, miss me with this shit. Are you kidding me? 40? So you mean to tell me there's a $10 difference between a Maximum series and then these guys who are pretty much just Marvel Legends, but you get the Magic the Gathering card. And the accessory pieces aren't necessarily all... Especially with Agent Venom. What did I just say? You're pretty much... If you already have the original Agent Venom, you're pretty much paying $40 for the tendrils, of which are not even going to be the same color. You have to be, really into the modding, customizing community in the action figure space to, with a steady hand, to be able to give them that black coat of paint to match them. So $40 for the extra tendril pieces on this guy. $40 for a Battle Damaged Spidey that is using a pretty good looking buck, but it is battle damage, and you're only really getting extra hand accessories and then the web shield. And I think a web strand, that's it. Again, just a couple shy of the Maximum series, but it's a whole just $10 difference. Man Wolf, which ironically might give you the best bang for your buck, but even then you're dealing with a character that you never heard of. At least I'd never heard of. Just being completely honest there. And then Spider-Woman, who you can tell most of the plastic allocation inside the box is going towards her arms. Other than that, only one extra pair of hands and an extra head. $40? Yeah. I can only assume that I'm not the only one because, like I said, I switched my alarm to just wake up at the usual time, woke up, made breakfast, and then finally I was like, oh, let me check on those Marvel Legend Magic the Gathering figures. They probably sold out, right? On Amazon, they did. I think on Amazon, the Battle Damaged Spidey did sell out. But everywhere else, it was still available, including Hasbro's own Hasbro Pulse site. Still available. Still available on Big Bad. Actually, hold on. Why am I even saying this right? Why am I even recounting? Let me go to Twitter. I think it was Paternia who even tweeted out saying, hey, he's still available on these other sites, even though he's gone on Amazon. Let me see if I can pull that up. Because, yeah, $40. Here we go. $40. Let me click on all four of these. And then let me, just for shits and giggles, see if I can find the Amazon one. So it's sold out on Entertainment Earth. Still available on BTS. They usually sell out by now, but it's still available. Still available at GameStop. It has sold out on the Hasbro Pulse. Damn. Because about an hour and a half ago, actually no, scratch that, 2 hours ago, it was still available, and he sold out on Amazon. But the other 3 completely still available. I don't know if it's just me being naive or whatever, but I legit thought that they were going to be 25, maybe 30, 40 off. Like I said, I canceled that alarm so quick. And, you know, to the people who hate on McFarlane, I mean, I'm sorry, gonna bring up McFarlane. Oh, okay. Gonna bring up McFarlane as a comparison. Look at this Magic the Gathering series for $40, and then look at the collector's edition series of like some of the most recent collector's editions, like Dark Stars, the Year 2 Batman, that are 30, 35. You got the Peacemaker. And then think about the fact that since day one, he's included the card in the base. And I know that people don't have too much use for it, but you had a standard DC Multiverse figure going for like $22.99, and you still get a card in the base, and then whatever accessories that character manages to come with. $22.99? Maybe $24.99? I'm not saying it's cheap. It's not. It can still get kind of pricey depending on the character, but what are we even talking about here? I'm sorry. I know that Marvel Legends, you know, diehards are probably cringing and getting triggered right now. But man, oh man, this is ridiculous. $40. I can't tell whether it's because it's the Magic the Gathering collab up in the price, or if Hasbro thought that they could get away with. Aren't they? Don't they have the Magic the Gathering license too? For like figures? I could be wrong about that. Hold on. Who? Grok. Who owns the toy license for Magic Gathering? Hasbro. It's Hasbro. Wizards of the Coast own the IP of Magic the Gathering, but Hasbro acquired the license for toys. Oh no, Wizards of the Coast, a subsidiary of Hasbro. It's Hasbro. It's them. So I hate to say it, but that means that they shouldn't be. They're not being forced by anybody to upcharge just because of the card in there. I bet that their whole reasoning is that the card is playable, meaning you can use it in an actual Magic the Gathering deck. It's not just a collectible; you can actually use it. How much you want to bet that that's their reasoning? Get the out of here. You realize I don't play Magic the Gathering, which I can only assume means that other collectors don't play Magic the Gathering, but wanted that Battle Damaged Spidey. When they found out that it was $40, they're like, I'm out. Pfft. Just like I was.